Hey everybody, it's Justin from Justin Talks Puppets, and I've been invited by Julien's Auctions out here at the historic Grauman's Egyptian Theater out here in Los Angeles, California. We are here with a collaboration between the Jim Henson Company, Julien's Auctions, and America Cinematheque. They're holding a special screening event tonight of the Muppet Treasure Island movie. And after the movie ends, they're going to have a special Q&A with Jim Henson, so that should be really fun. But what's really cool is in honor of the 70th anniversary of the Jim Henson Company, they're holding a special auction in collaboration with Julien's, and they'll be holding that on November 25th at the Jim Henson lot. But what's really cool is for this special screening, they are allowing people to see just a little bit of the auction before it is officially official at the Jim Henson Company. They're holding it here in the lobby of the Grauman's Egyptian Theater. So we're going to check out some of the awesome memorabilia, set pieces, puppets, and a bunch of other awesome Muppet and Jim Henson pretty much historical items that has been in their archive since who knows when, who knows how long. So it should be pretty cool. We're going to check that out. And yeah, it should be fun. So come along and let's do it. So right when I walked into the lobby, I was greeted by one of Jim Henson's worn shirts on display. This was a Jim Henson vintage floral shirt with photo matched tie and worn by Jim Henson when he attended the Art of Muppets exhibit that opened in 1979. And right next to him was a prop map from Muppet Treasure Island. There were two hero treasure maps used during the production of the film, one for close-ups and one for wide shots. This is the map that was used for wide shots. Close-up hero treasure map was kept by the film's director, Jim Henson, who has it on display in his office. Also, they had a group of puppets on display, starting with the Wubblish World of Dr. Seuss Pink Who's It puppet. This puppet is seen most prominently in the 6th episode of the 2nd season entitled The Cat in the Hat's Flower Power. Also, another puppet that was on display was Dog City's Mac puppet. Dog City was a comedic homage to classic gangster films. Dog City takes place in a world inhabited by dogs during the 1930s era. In one scene of the movie, the local bar is called the Doghouse. One of the members of the Doghouse wait staff is Mac, a schnauzer-like mutt who takes orders and cleans up the joint while dressed in his best waiter attire. Another puppet on display was this full-body Ivor puppet from the British preschool series, The Hoobs. Another puppet that was on display was the Christmas Toys Meteora stunt marionette puppet, a stunt marionette version of the Meteora puppet from the television special, The Christmas Toy. Then we have the Muppet Treasure Island Tiki Pig Island Head statue. This was one of the pig-shaped island head statues seen primarily in the opening musical number of Shiver My Timbers. They're also seen during the entrance of the Island Queen, Benjamina Gunn, aka Miss Piggy. Some other puppets that were on display was this Saturday Night Live 2 Glig puppets from the land of Gorch. Then up next we have on display was this Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas Squirrel Glove puppet, another of the original squirrel puppets because there's also another one that is up for sale within the auction, but they only had this one on display. And these squirrel puppets were featured as part of the Squirrel Acrobatic Act in the holiday classic Emmett Otter's Jug Band. Then in another part of the lobby, they also had several Fraggles on display. First up, of course, we have Fraggle Rock's Uncle Traveling Matt, who is a full-body puppet. Uncle Traveling Matt became one of the most beloved and recognizable characters from the series due to his regular segments on the show. Up next, we have this Fraggle Rock Doozer puppet. This mustachioed Doozer puppet from the original series was one of the main inhabitants of Fraggle Rock. Up next, we have the Fraggle Rock Gillis, and he made his appearance on the original Fraggle Rock series. He is a resident musician. Then we have the Fraggle Rock Morris Fraggle puppet, appeared as a regular background Fraggle in multiple episodes throughout the run of the series. Next, we have the Fraggle Rock Rumple puppet, was primarily featured in the 1984 episode Wimbley and the Great Race. Also on display was Fraggle Rock's Aunt Granny. She is a full-body puppet. She was primarily featured in the 1986 episode Wimbley's Wonderful Whoopee Water. Fraggle Rock's Murmur Murgle full-body puppet. The Murgles are an aquatic race of Fraggles, and they appear in the 1987 episode Beyond the Pond. We have this Fraggle Rock Tosh Fraggle puppet, and was primarily featured in the 1984 episode Uber's Quiet Day. And in another part of the lobby, they also had some very special dark crystal puppets on display. Now, I would like to preface this before we go into it that one, a lot of these puppets are from the 2019 Netflix series, so a lot of them were not even from the original Dark Crystal movie. And I know it may be shocking for some of you, but I'm not really a big, huge Dark Crystal fan. So my apologies in advance if I pronounce or mispronounce some of these names incorrectly. First up, we have the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, the Chamberlain Skeksis animatronic head puppet. We also have the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Skektek the Scientist, which is also another Skeksis animatronic head. We have the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Naya, Drenchen Gelfling, full-bodied puppet. We also have the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Thirshpog hand-controlled puppet. Then we have the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Gendrick Stonewood, Gelfling full-bodied puppet. We also have an overdressed Vaprin lady puppet. We also have the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Hoop Pottling puppet, and that pretty much wraps it up for the Dark Crystal. They also had some weapons on display, but because a lot of people were just so enjoying the little exhibit in the lobby, it was kind of hard to see everything all at once. Now, as far as other Jim Henson Company 70th anniversary auction items that they had around in the lobby were Muppet Treasure Island doubloons coin props, and these were an original group of 81 large and 3 small cast metal doubloon coins. They were props used in the production of the film Muppet Treasure Island. Also, another prop from Muppet Treasure Island was the cannon, or at least one of the cannons from the lower deck of the Hispaniola ship in the Muppet Treasure Island movie. Also, which was really cool to see in person, was this awesome Muppet Treasure Island Admiral Bimbo Inn sign. This sign is shaped wood with carved lettering on both sides that is hand painted in red and black. Also, in one of the kind of more smaller displays, they had an animal show puppet. It was an angry sandwich on a plate from the series Jim Henson's Animal Show with Stinky and Jake, ran on Fox Kids and Animal Planet from 1994 to 1998. What I thought was also really cool, but they had 4 of the bus from the Muppet Christmas Carol. The first stop that the Ghost of Christmas Past takes Ebenezer to is an old one-room schoolhouse that he attended as a child. In one of the shelves of the schoolhouse, the Great Gonzo and Rizzo are perched as they narrate this portion of the story. You can of course see 4 busts of great writers sitting on a shelf. Also, really cool, right next to these busts, they also had on display the Christmas Carol Marley and Marley chains and cash boxes with their giant padlocks. Also, another really cool item to see is they had the Great Muppet Caper 1981 promotional baseball diamond on display. Created for a promotional event surrounding the release of the second theatrical Muppet film, The Great Muppet Caper, this is a 1-to-1 replica of the baseball diamond prop as seen in the movie, all of which were created by the same production team at the Jim Henson Company that made the screen use prop in the film. Also, there were 2 really other cool items on display, but I think we're going to head over to our friend Roy, who's going to explain that to you just a little bit more. Another item that they had on display was the really cool...
Then we go to the Muppets Take Manhattan. And what we have from the Muppet Baby sequence are a couple of really fantastic things, including Baby Kermit's rocking chair. That rocking chair even has the puppeteering hole in the middle that Jim Henson had to put his hand up and puppeteer Baby Kermit around in, which is amazing.
Hey, this is Justin from Justin Talks Puppets. I'm here with Roy. He is the, what is your official title?
I'm a pop culture specialist at Julien's Auctions.
And you've probably seen his familiar face, his star-studded debut on that awesome and amazing Jim Henson video of them explaining to you with Julien's Auctions about you bidding on all these really cool memorabilia and stuff like that. So Roy, I had to ask you, as a Muppet fan and things like that, how did all this start for you?
So this started when the Jim Henson Company reached out and said, we're looking for an auction house to partner with to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the Jim Henson Company, and we're thinking about doing an auction. And so we were lucky enough to go have a meeting with Lisa Henson and a lot of other people, including Karen Falk, the archivist, and just say, this is what Julien's can give you as an auction house. And we were lucky enough to be the auction house selected. And then the process started with working with, again, the rest of the Henson Company, Lisa, Karen Falk, all those people to curate the 435 things that are in the sale and make this amazing, probably once in a lifetime auction come to life.
Gotcha. Super cool. So much stuff. Is anything in the auction your favorite? Anything that you personally had your eye on or have your eye on?
Oh, there's too many things. things, to be honest. But my favorite thing, without a doubt, is the pair of Miss Piggy's shoes from the Great Muppet Caper.
They were made for Miss Piggy for the Great Muppet Caper. They both say bike inside of the heel, so you know they're for that scene. It's an incredible scene that's done with actual puppets that are being controlled by puppeteers riding bicycles way out in front of them with strings.
When we got those, I went, this is the best scene in any movie, when all of them ride those bicycles.
Right.
Couldn't we ride? It's the most magical thing that's ever been filmed. So seeing her shoes that she wore and the word bike is written inside of both of them, it is just sort of like, there's no better pair of shoes that's ever to exist. So that's my favorite thing in the whole set.
So if he already doesn't have dibs on the shoes, gotta look, be on the aisle for those shoes. Be on the aisle for the shoes. Well, Roy, one last and final thing. Now we know the auction is coming up November 25th.
Correct.
So you have an audience right here. Anything special you want to let them know? Anything other that you want to tell them regarding the auction, the Jim Henson Company? You have an audience.
Absolutely. So bidding is open. You can place a bid right now. So you can go to juliensauctions.com, register to bid, place a bid right now, and then the auction will close. Yes, live. You can come in person. We're going to do it on the Charlie Chaplin Studios lot, which was the home of the Jim Henson Company for 25 years. So you can come, kind of say goodbye as they move to their new spaces, but celebrate the auction on November 25th. Come live, and hopefully you get the winning bid on something amazing from the Jim Henson Company.
I couldn't say it better myself. Roy, thank you so much. Thank you to Julien's and everybody, the Jim Henson Company, everybody for having us out. This is such a blast. And we might see you at a future event. Maybe. So thank you. And this is Justin and Roy, and we are out. Hey, thanks so much for watching this fun, awesome puppet-related video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned a lot. And if you did, please do me a favor and go check out the next video right here on the screen. Kermit and I think you will enjoy it, and we'll see you over there. Until next time, take care and, well, have an awesome day.